Hi everyone, this is Daniel from Born Poor Die Rich. First of all, I'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas as well as a wonderful 2021 up ahead. Christmas or the end of the year is always a wonderful time for me. It's my favorite time of the year, really. I use that time to reflect, think about, what are things I'm grateful for the year that has passed, and also think about, what are some of the dreams, my hopes and aspirations that I want to achieve in the upcoming year. In fact, there's a very wise woman, and I married her, my wife. she shared this, that we may not have the benefit of hindsight, but we always have the benefit of foresight. So looking ahead into 2021, what are some things that we can do, decisions that we can make to set ourselves up for success? And when it comes to December 2021, we'll be glad that we have made some decisions over the course of the year. There's this quote that I love that says, do something today that your future self will thank you for. Property remains one of the best asset classes to invest in because regardless of economic situation, people always need a property, and you can find a good cash flowing property when the market is going up, sideways, or down. So these are top 3 tips for you to make sure that you set yourself up for success. The first of which is you want to be able to buy residential property and not commercial or industrial property. This is really important. Why so? Because you think about how COVID has impacted businesses. So many people are working from home. Moving ahead, a lot of companies are going through a hybrid kind of arrangement, maybe 50% on and off, because the pandemic is going to be here for the next year at least, even as the vaccines are rolling out next year, 2 years, or even more. So this idea of part work from home, part work from office is going to have a huge impact on companies, commercial people who are renting commercial spaces, even retail fronts, as well as industrial properties. The way you do business is going to be different. However, residential property, regardless of where the economy is at, in fact, with stay-home notices and stuff like that, you still need a roof over your head, right? It's Maslow hierarchy of needs. Some of you might say, hey, what about the ABSD that is in Singapore, right? So that, as for those of you who know and follow my channel, for me, I invest primarily in the UK, where you can get really good deals. You can buy houses for less than £100,000, or with maybe 100,000 Singapore dollars, taking a loan with our contacts of teams that we work with. We can buy a terrace house that gives you a passive income, right? So these are some things that we explore. So it's definitely possible, even if you don't want to pay the hefty ABSD here. Yeah. The second tip I will leave with you is you want to buy resale property and not off-plan property. And why? It's because very often new launches tend to be priced a lot more expensive than just the surrounding property. Just go onto any portal and do a search, right? If you see a new condo coming up, look for an existing condo. It could be 2, 3, 5, 10 years older, just next door, and you'll be able to buy a much larger unit for the same price. And why is this important? Because think about your strategy. If you're looking to rent it out for a potential tenant, they may not want to pay a huge premium in terms of rent just to stay in a new unit, where they could save a little bit of rent and stay in a unit that's very similar, just across the road, for example. So that you're not going to get as much rent for the amount that you're paying. So what that means is that the cash flow and the yield is going to be lower, right? So always look at what are some resale opportunities, and moving ahead, there's going to be a larger impact on jobs as well in Singapore, as the government, the job support scheme that has been amazing in 2020 is going to start drying up in 2021. My own expectation is that it's going to be a huge impact on unemployment. We've seen that even for foreigners already, but I think it's going to hit the locals even more. So moving ahead, there are going to be opportunities because there are people that may need to downgrade, for example. So this is a real win-win situation, especially you're a property investor. You're not there to squeeze the last dollar out of the deal, but you could also be able to buy a deal at a good discount, because some people just want to move quick. They're willing to sell it, for a slight discount to the market. So there's great opportunities as well. And this is the third tip, and I would say is the most important tip of all. I always do this cash flow litmus test check. And if you can look at the formula over here, it is to make sure that the rent that you're getting for the property is more than the mortgage that you will pay. So if you just take the rent, $3,500 minus the mortgage you need to pay to the bank every month, let's call it $4,500, that is effectively $1,000 loss that you're making every month, right? So if you're watching this video, make sure you remember this, write it out, stick it on the wall. Every deal that you're analyzing, make sure you look at this cash flow litmus test to make sure it passes this criteria before you even look at buying the property. Right? It doesn't matter whether it's near an upcoming MRT. It doesn't matter if it's in another country that is up and coming or whatever. If you're buying it to rent out to get passive income and it doesn't meet the cash flow litmus test, then don't even look at the property. So that's me, Daniel, signing out. If you've liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. I'll be sending weekly tips and of how you can get yourself educated. Make sure you make informed decisions in your property investing journey so that you can gain greater financial security for yourself and your family. Happy New Year, everyone.